How to influence your teenager. We all want to know about that and how to do that and what works and what doesn't work. Today I'm going to talk about the law of influence from the book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And we're going to talk about how to use some of these things or some of these processes to influence not only your teenager, but yourself and your teams. Leadership is simply about influencing people. Nothing more, nothing less. Hello, my name is Christopher Houston, and today I want to talk to you about influence. If you find value in the videos that we produce, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Oh, and hit the notification bell because we're going to put these videos out often. Why do some people seem to have all the influence and others can't seem to lead no matter what they do? They can try different things, it just doesn't seem to matter. Well, there are 7 reasons why it's difficult for some people to influence others. And today we're going to talk about those reasons. And if you know about them, then maybe you'll stop doing them, or maybe you'll understand them and you'll be able to influence more. Because when we know better, we do better. The first reason is character. And that says who they are. True leadership begins with the inner person. Now, what does that mean? It begins with the inner person. Well, it begins with who you are. Because if you're trying to lead a team, then they're going to look at your character. Now, what is character? Well, character is nothing more than, do you tell the truth? Are you the type of person that lives what you're speaking? Are you the type of person who practices what you preach? That's what people are going to listen to, and that's part of your character. Now, there's a bunch of different characteristic traits that people follow, but that's the main one, truth. What do you think about that, Kiana, as far as character and people following you or you following yourself because of truth? What do you think about that?
I think that when you show somebody you looks up to you or somebody who you look up to, I think that when you or that person tells the truth, that shows their character obviously, but it also shows what type of person they are. And I mean, you could be the most truthful person, but not the most reliable. So I think it is important to have that around you, but also make sure that that's the person that you want to hang out with, and that shows the same reliability that you put out too.
Okay. And do you find it easy to kind of figure out if a person has character or not? Do you figure it out pretty quick, or does it take you a while?
It takes me a little bit. You're not going to know everything about that person in that one instance or in that one moment. So it does take a little bit to see how they react in different situations and then how they respond to those situations as well.
No, that's fair. It takes a little time, but once you find out if that person has character or not, if they do, it makes it easier for you to follow that person. And if they don't, then you can't. And always remember, you influence yourself first. The second reason that sometimes people don't find it easy to influence is relationships. And that's who they know. True leaders will always have individuals willing to follow them. Well, why is that? True leaders always build a deep, lasting relationship. The deeper the relationships, the greater the potential for leadership. In my career, I've been blessed with being able to serve in several leadership positions. Each time I get a new leadership position, I start building relationships. I've been in the military, I've taught school, I've had staffs as a contractor, I've had staff working in the casino industry. I've been around a little while and kind of learned about relationships. And I can tell you this, people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. So take that with you as you go on in life, and as long as you build those relationships, it'll be easier for you to influence people. So what do you think about building relationships, and do you have an easy time or a hard time doing that?
I think relationships are key in trying to help you influence yourself but also grow, because you can learn a lot from them. Relationships are important, and to me relationships are a little bit easier just because I'm a more social person. I like to
social butterfly.
Yeah, I'm a very outgoing person.
And that's a good observation. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. The third reason why people have a hard time with leadership and influence is knowledge. And that is what they know. Now, here's the thing. If you're a leader, you have to understand whatever the tasks are that you're put in charge of. You have to understand those tasks. And you have to be able to be at a high level in those tasks. And for me, it's process, right? I love creating processes and following through with processes. Information is important. We've heard that saying, knowledge is power. Well, I say applied knowledge is power. And what does that mean? People always say, you know what, today in today's world, the young kids, that's you, right? You guys have a lot of information, right? You guys have access to a lot of information.
Yeah.
But unless you understand that information and understand how to apply it, doesn't mean anything.
I think that it's cool to gain knowledge. It's cool to, learn different things. But if you're just kind of learning things and then not applying it to life or to your job or to something that you're doing every day, it's kind of like irrelevant at that point, because you're not using that knowledge, you're not putting it into practice, so it's not like you can learn something else about it as well. It's like learning fun facts. Like, there's 206 bones in your body, and that's cool. But who are you gonna like? How many bones in your body apply to HR? Like, it doesn't really apply. So it's kind of like either you're gonna learn some fun facts, or you're just really gonna apply that knowledge to your job, to your hobby, to whatever you're doing, to a day-to-day basis.
Got it. So are you saying you want to become a doctor? Is that
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
that
because
8 years of school and residency, that can stay over there. I see you, but I will not come towards you. I will not approach you.
Okay, I didn't know. I just thought since you knew how many bones were.
Well,
So
that's
the fourth reason people have trouble with leadership and influence is intuition, and that's what they feel. You must be able to deal with numerous intangibles like energy, morale, timing, momentum. These are the things you have to deal with and have to understand if you want to influence people. Energy. How much energy do you have? Are you the type of person that walks in a room and then all the energy just goes down? Or are you the type of person that walks in a room and all the energy builds up, right? Momentum. All momentum means that once you get started and you get the team going in a direction, you have to understand how to keep that team going in that direction. And as I said before, the person that you want to influence first is yourself, right? And that momentum, if you could influence yourself to do something, let's say go to the gym, right? Because that's one of those things that we all know is important.
Yeah, get those gains.
But, sometimes we're like, well, I know I'm supposed to go. I kind of want to go, but I can't influence myself to go. Once you do, though, then that's when that momentum will kick in.
I believe that I have intuition. And the only reason I say this is because when I go into a room and I kind of sense the energy, I know like what the type of day it is. Like if people are like into their work and they're serious and they're like, I don't want to deal with student government today. Like I need to finish this work. Then I'm not gonna come up to them and be like, hey, so where's that flyer? And be like, okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. But if I can tell that nobody's really doing anything, they're kind of just chilling around, and then I'll be like, hey, like did you do the flyer yet? What are you gonna like? Are you gonna give it to me? Like I wanna know when I'm gonna get it, so I don't have to tell Mr. Mori. Yeah, we're still waiting on that flyer that was due like 2 days ago. So I think I have that intuition with reading people's or a room's energy and knowing how to approach my peers or my classmates to get certain things done. And also I have a very friendly personality. When I walk into a room, it's not just like, oh, this day sucks, I failed my test.
You failed a test before?
No.
Did you fail a test?
No, I'm saying this is an example.
Oh,
This is an example of, just somebody who doesn't know how to read a room or who doesn't know how to read like the type of energy in the room, and they just come into the room and it's just sad.
Did you feel that energy if you failed a test? Did you feel that energy come from me? Did you just feel that energy if you had failed a test coming from me? You
No.
didn't? Okay, go ahead.
No, I did not. Definitely did not.
The fifth reason why people have trouble with leadership and influence is experience, and that's where they have been. The greater the challenges you have faced in the past, the easier it is for individuals to give you a chance in the present. I got a call from a friend last week. Now, that friend I've known we kind of lost touch, but we've known each other since I was about 19 years old. And he was just amazed at the difference between when I was 19 and now. And we talked and we laughed about a lot of different things. And part of my influence comes from, or my experience comes from, at that time I was stationed in Fairbanks, Alaska. I've lived in Fairbanks, Alaska. I've lived in Florida. I've lived in San Antonio. I've lived in Las Vegas. I've lived in Hawaii twice. I grew up in Birmingham. I have a lot of experience from a lot of different places, you know, and I have 3 kids. That'll definitely give you experience, right? Because you take those experiences and you bring them into your life, and hopefully, if you're doing the right things, hopefully you'll learn from the good things you do, and you'll learn from the things that maybe not so good. And the things that are good, you keep repeating. The things that are not good, then what you'll do is find a way to change those things. And that's what I did. Because as I said in some of my earlier videos, I probably wasn't the nicest person, you know.
What?
But now, you know, I am the nicest person.
No, you're not.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not.
So experience is what we're talking about.
But
So
you're
tell
still,
me.
No, let's go back to you're not.
What?
You're not.
I'm not nice?
No, you're not.
What about that iPhone I just got for you?
That's just.
That's not nice? That's not nice?
Mm-mm.
I'm taking it back.
Take
Stick
it back.
to the video.
I am. I'm just saying.
So experience, you know, to be able to influence, you have to have experience. So, I mean, you just turned 16, so you have some experience. Like you have, if this is like my experience, right? Your experience is like, it's like a smoldering, it's like a smoldering fire. My experience is like a raging fire. So, I know you don't have that much experience, but what kind of experience do you have now, and what kind of experiences do you look to get in the future?
If you don't know that joke, lame. I think I look forward to the experiences as I grow older, just in age, because, you know, you learn something new every year. Every year that you turn older, you should have gotten something from that year. Like some experience that you went through, you're like, yeah, I never want to do that again. Let's not do that. But I'm excited to find those new experiences and go through them, good or bad, because you learn from them anyway. And now the smoldering experience that I have, I'm always told that I'm mature for my age. You know, I articulate myself very well. For a 16-year-old, and from the experiences that I've had before with, you know, like friends or even like with school, like learning to appreciate and somewhat like school in high school, you know, that has shown me that, you know, it doesn't have to be that hard. I think from those experiences, that's what I will go off of in college. Right now, it's just learning how to grow as much as I can before I hit that, okay, you're on your own. You know, you're not living in the house anymore. You can't get free food anymore. It's like, you gotta go get your own food.
Number 6, past successes, what they have done, or what you have done. A good track record of success goes a long way toward people giving you a chance to lead them. Leading is not something that you do to people. Leading is having people allow you to lead them. Now, what does that mean, a good track record of success? That just means that people look at your background, right? Nowadays, when you apply for a position, yeah, they're gonna look at your resume, but then they're gonna look at your LinkedIn account. They're gonna look at your Facebook account. It's just the way of life now, right? So they're gonna look at what type of successes you've had. The more successes that you've had, the easier, or it kind of smooths the way for you to be a leader, or it smooths the way for people to say, hey, that person, you know, has some accomplishments, and I kind of wanna see what else they have to offer. Now here's the thing. Once you go in and you talk about these successes, or they see you've had successes before, unfortunately, they're going to expect that same level of success once you start leading them. So it's a double-edged sword. So you want to make sure you have those successes, or do things where you can gain success. Like we can start in school. You know, I have 3 master's degrees. Like I said, I've worked a bunch of different jobs. I've led a bunch of different teams. All of my stuff is documented. Well, you can do the same thing, right? And it's not just school, it's different successes, right? You can have a YouTube channel that has 1 million subscribers, or whatever. There's a lot of different ways to gauge success. Find out what yours is, and then do that. So what do you think about that, successes? And not so much the successes you've had thus far, but what do you think about this entire concept to be a good leader and influencer, you must have some type of successes in your background. What do you think about that?
I think that that's exactly what I'm going through right now. You know, I'm trying to get into college. Hey, how you doing? I've been talking to different college advisors, and they're like, hey, try to get more projects that you've led, or even passion projects that, you know, you're interested in or that you've done, so that we can see, oh, you're actually serious about this major, or you're actually serious about, you know, going to our college, if it's something to do with their college specifically. I have been doing student government, which is, if you don't know if it's a different name, student council, or basically the group that leads all the events at your school. I'm a part of that and been a part of it since sophomore year. And I have probably led around 10 or 15 projects for our school, and that's throughout the school year. So about 10 or 15 just in sophomore year. So I'm probably gonna have about 30, right? I am not gonna put 30 projects on my college resume or application. I will not do that. But I will put the few that I have been leaders in, meaning that I led the entire thing. I was in charge of making sure everybody did their flyers on time. I was in charge of making sure that I did my part on time. All of making sure the decorations were in order in the certain fashion. So I have had this practice, and telling people that I have done this type of stuff, it's like, wow, you know, that's amazing. You've been leading, you know, other 16-year-olds and trying to get them to do their work, and it's like, wow, that's very impressive. So putting this on my college application would be amazing, because it shows that I want to be a leader in marketing. I want to be a leader in my field. So doing that shows that type of person, your character, and also how you would lead a project in their company or in their firm. Putting that expectation into reality is pretty nice.
Okay, the seventh thing is that you have to do to influence individuals. It talks about the ability, and that's what they can do or what you can do. Now, we just kind of talked about successes, and that's your past, right? Now, once you become a leader of a team, then they look at your ability, kind of what can you do? What are you doing right now? People want to know what you are capable of. People want to know if you can lead them to success. And that's key. He who thinks he leads but has no followers is only taking a walk. To be a leader, you must learn how to influence. And we talked about what we did, some of our successes. You have to take teams, and you have to, as you said, you've led a bunch of projects in school. Since I've been in here in Hawaii, I've led a bunch of projects at work, right? And as you lead more projects at work, and as you teach individuals different things, and I not only do these videos here, but I create videos at work to show individuals how to do different things, like how to input this data into this specific database, and what does this field mean, and then what does that field mean? Because before, what they were doing was they were just, sending out maybe a PDF, and that's not bad, but it's a lot easier when you create a video where someone can have something up on their left screen, the video playing, something up on their right screen, like what they're doing, and they watch the video and then they go over here and do it. They watch the video and then they go over here and do it. And I said, you know what, I think that would be pretty cool. Well, now it's to the point where 5 or 6 people that are on my team, they all create these little videos now, and I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's the type of thing, the ability and what you can do now. So what do you think about that? You talked about some of your successes in the past, and so now you're a junior. So now you're gonna have to show, you got to step up. And I heard that you do the announcements, right?
I do. I was forced into this. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. I do the announcements at school. It is very different from obviously doing YouTube videos with you, and then, learning about all of the different aspects of videography, and then going to school and not having the same resources that we do here.
So are you saying you have more resources at home than they do at the school?
Yes.
That's impossible.
It's impossible, right?
It's impossible.
It's impossible. So it's hard for me not to just take everything that I have here and bring it to school, so we can just have a smoother transition into doing these announcements. But you got to work with what you got. The knowledge that I learn here, I do take it to my announcements or to the announcements crew. And so, my advisor, he learns and he's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's definitely is different. Learning how to stand there and talk with a microphone right here and have very little emotion in your face. That type of thing, learning how to do that and then bringing that to college, and then they're like, hey, you do the announcement. Having these certain abilities that you can do that would help your job or help, even in college, it's great that you can do that, because then you can also put that on your resume and be like, yeah, I did the announcements for USC. No biggie, just, every day.
So we've talked about several things as far as increasing your influence. Hopefully we all agree that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And if you work on your character, which means who you are, that will help you increase your influence. If you work on your relationships, who you know, that will help you increase your influence. If you work on your knowledge, what you know, that will help you. If you work on your skills, your intuition, that's what you feel, that will help you with your influence. And if you work on your experience, do different things. Don't just do the same thing over and over again. Volunteer to do different things. That will help you with your influence. And your past successes. Always document your past successes and make it easily available to go back and pull from those past successes and put them in a resume, put them online, wherever you need to put them. And that's what you have done, and your ability, what you can do. And that's just applying all the knowledge that we've talked about. Now, we've talked about influence. I think this was a great video. If you guys look at the thumbnail, this is a Houston production. We have my son, CJ. He created the thumbnail, or he had all the ideas around the thumbnail this week. My wife is on the audio, and she set up this background. And of course, Kiana says she's
I'm the main character. I'm not his co-star.
But if
whoever says that is wrong.
There's a Batman and there's a Robin.
But when did you hear about Robin? Huh?
What?
When did you hear about Robin? Never.
What do you mean? Everybody knows who Robin is.
No.
Everybody knows who Robin is.
But everybody knows who's.
I'm just saying there has to be a Batman and a Robin. It can't just be. They can't
it's
be
Batman
like a
and Superman.
Batman.
Nope, it's just Batman and Superman.
But it doesn't have to be Superman.
Nope. No, you said you're Lego Batman. That's what you said.
If you
Put
find
a picture
value,
of Lego Batman right here.
If you find value in the videos we produce, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell.
Yes.
My name is Christopher Houston. Thank you very much. Good night, and God bless.